Graph the function f of x equals 1/2 to the x power minus 3 by plotting 4 exact points. Also, draw and label any asymptotes. In order to do this, we need to find 4 exact points. So over here to the right, I'm going to make a t-chart with x and y. And when we do this, I'm going to pick some values like 1, 0, -1, and -2. And when we start substituting these numbers over here in for x, let's say we get y equals 1/2, and instead of x I'm going to substitute in the number 1, the first number in our chart, minus 3. So then we just use the order of operations. 1/2 to the first power is 1/2. And if you take away 3 from that, you get -2.5. And similarly, you can substitute 0 in here for x and get back another value, and that value will be -2. When you start evaluating the function at -1 and -2, we have a little trick to remember. So let's say we need y equals 1/2 to the -1 power minus 3. What this negative does in the exponent is it will flip the fraction. It'll take the reciprocal of this fraction on the inside, and the 1 means raise that reciprocal to the first power. So we will end up with 2 to the +1 power minus 3, which is just 2 minus 3, which is -1. So when you substitute in -1 for x, you get back -1 for y. And similarly, you can substitute -2 in for x, and again this fraction will be reciprocated and then raised to the second power, and your point will have a y value of 1. Now that we have some ordered pairs over here on the left, we're going to use them on the graph on the right. So what we will do is we will plot these points as we see them. So 1, -2, that point is about right there. And since it's not a whole number coordinate for the y value, I want to label this so everybody knows where it is. The next point is 0, 2. That point has whole number coordinates for both x and y, so we don't have to label this one. And the same with the other 2 points at -1, -1, and 2, 1. So I'm going to draw this graph in really nicely and as smooth as I can. Something like this. And the final part asks you to draw in and label any asymptotes. And so with exponential functions, there's a horizontal asymptote, and I'm putting that in red right here. And the label for this would be y equals -3. And you can find the horizontal asymptote when you look at the function. Whatever is being added out back, right here, this -3, that is the value that you will set equal to y to get your horizontal asymptote for your exponential function.